Well, I guess this just proves why Sadiq Khan must be a penis. Let's begin. Now, of course, I don't know if it's just me, but you'd think, wouldn't you, that after the congestion charge, ULEZ, even the cost of parking nowadays, that Sadiq Khan might be actually satisfied with the amount of money he's got coming in, especially as it was announced recently that EVs will soon be subject to the congestion charge. But no, apparently he's not, because according to this article, there's even more charges on the way. And I am not talking about pay per mile, or pay by mile rather. I'm guessing, if anything, he's still got to work a way of how he can introduce that nicely to us, the public. But according to this article, he is going to be slapping drivers for using 2 of London's tunnels. But what are they? And is he going to start on individual roads next or something? It's just crazy, isn't it? Well, apparently, according to this, car drivers who travel through 2 tunnels in London could be charged £4 each time from next year. It has been revealed. Now, obviously, £4 might not be that much, especially to Londoners where, let's face it, you more than likely can't get a sandwich for under a £5, but it could soon add up, especially if you have to go through it twice a day. £4 there, £4 back, that's £8 a day. Do that 5 days a week and you've suddenly got an extra £40 a week outlay, which is obviously £160 a month that you weren't actually planning on spending, eh? So where are these new tunnels in? Has he thought, oh, I'll dig up the road near Buckingham Palace and then install these? Well, apparently, according to the proposals by TfL Transport for London, it would mean that anyone using the Blackwall and Silvertown tunnels in the east of the capital during peak hours would be charged. Because obviously, as I said, it appears that the amount of money that TfL must be getting already is not good enough for them, eh? The peak hours apparently are between 6 AM to 10 AM, northbound on weekdays and southbound between 4 PM and 7 PM under the plans outlined in an 8-week consultation. But for drivers who use AutoPay, the apparently automated charging system, they will only have to pay £1.50 during off-peak hours. So I guess it looks like you're paying no matter when you go in that case, eh? But for drivers who use other payment methods during off-peak, will still apparently be charged £4 a trip. So surely for those guys who don't actually like the idea of TfL dipping into your bank account every time, it seems, it's going to hit those guys harder for having the audacity of driving on the road. That makes you wonder what he's going to think up next. Maybe a breathing tax or something like that. Although, to be honest, even I don't think he'll be able to get that one through. But don't worry, because it says that people who use the Blackwall Tunnel now can do so for free. So, what are we moaning about, eh? But when the £2 billion Silvertown Tunnel also opens in 2025, this is when the charges will apply. So when both tunnels are open, probably meaning, I guess, that traffic in the Blackwall one might go down a bit, surely easing the traffic flow. Well, that's when they're apparently not happy, it seems, eh? Although, to be honest, the costs do vary a bit, because the planned fees for other vehicles are £2.50 and £1.50 for motorbikes and mopeds, £6.50 and £2.50 for large vans, and a whopping £10 and £5 for heavy goods vehicles, depending on the time of the day, and small vans will pay apparently the same as cars. And these fees are planned for both tunnels to manage traffic and, wait for this, pay back construction costs of the Silvertown Tunnel. But hang on a minute, doesn't Sadiq Khan or TfL get a lot of money from the taxpayer in the first place, presumably so he can do these sort of things, to make it all wonderful for us? Or, actually thinking about it, isn't that what ULEZ and the congestion charge for, so that you can actually use that money to improve the roads? I mean, I know that's some sort of mad idea, but surely, if people are paying a tax to use the roads, which, let's face it, the congestion charge and ULEZ are, then that money should be spent on improving those roads, surely, or the roads around London in general, in my opinion anyway. Well, just in case anyone thinks he's being a little bit tight or maybe actually bloody greedy, they are actually letting us use it for free at some times. Wow, thank you so much. Well, just when is it, eh? Well, apparently, according to this, the tunnels will be free to use overnight for all vehicles, according to TfL. Yeah, of course, because everyone goes there overnight, eh? But get this, those who fail to pay the charges during the day will be fined a hefty £180, which is just ridiculous, isn't it? Especially if you're busy and you forgot to pay as soon as they asked for it, I'm guessing. But apparently there are some exemptions, and they include buses, coaches, black taxis, blue badge holders registered in the capital, and zero-emission capable private hire vehicles. And discounts will apparently apply for people who are on low incomes, and charities and sole traders, and some small businesses. But just what is that discount then? Are we going to get the cheaper £1.50 daily fee, but just don't have to give up our details for this auto-pay crap? Well, apparently not. The discount for those on low incomes is expected to be 50% for those living in 12 east and south east boroughs, and apparently they can contact their local council for support. Or I guess actually hold their P60 up so the camera can see it, eh? For charities though, and small businesses and sole traders, they must have been registered in the boroughs of Greenwich, Tower Hamlets and Newham. And get this, despite the proposed charge, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who surely must spell his name with a silent T, argued it would actually help reduce pollution around the Blackwall Tunnel. So it seems, doesn't it, that he thinks that despite presumably EVs also paying for this, especially when from next year they start going to have to pay the congestion charge, then that will somehow reduce pollution, because I'm guessing they'll try to find another way round. Although if he was surely concerned about pollution, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, why he didn't actually start charging people, in his eyes anyway, for using the Blackwall Tower to begin with. I'm guessing maybe, just maybe, he thought that he wouldn't be able to get away with that and people would see it as some sort of cash grab. Or to be honest, I'm guessing that's what most people see as it now, Sadiq Khan, because I certainly do. And actually, yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the pollution from vehicles nowadays is much less compared to, I don't know, the 1930s, 1940s, 1970s, 1990s, meaning in that case his argument for reducing harmful fumes is pretty much null and void in my opinion anyway. And of course, in relation to Silvertown, he said it will help deliver quicker, more reliable journeys in East London by easing congestion and making journeys up to 20 minutes faster. And not to be outdone, the TfL Director Strategy, Christina Clorodo, if I pronounced that right, also said without introducing tunnel user charges for the Silverwood and Blackwood tunnels, there would likely be higher levels of traffic and congestion, which would lead to detrimental air quality impacts as well as longer journey times. Well, actually, that might not be the case, especially if, I don't know, the Silverwood tunnel might ease the traffic levels at the Blackwall tunnel. But, you know, what do I know? Although I guess there's always a chance that I might be wrong and this is not a money-grabbing exercise. Although, to be honest with you, I don't think I am, and I think if anything, it certainly is a money-grabbing exercise. So, on behalf of anyone, up yours, Mr. Khan.